So Keith, we're going to talk to you a little bit further now about your new show which you're bringing to Edinburgh soon, which is called?
Keith Anderson, Unbeaten Black and Blue.
Excellent stuff. Now I've seen some of the promos for this online, the Facebook page, etc. All the advertising seems to be edging towards the kind of a darker vibe to it. With that promotion in mind, what kind of audience are you expecting?
Am I expecting? Well, I expect the unexpected. The kind of audience I'd like to see there is just an audience that is interested in something a little bit different. People that are willing to listen, whether they agree with me or not, and just kind of make up their own minds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, the show is basically based on logic and reason, my own logic and reason, which is kind of just taking the piss out of traditions that have been in place, especially in this country for thousands of years, but you know, they don't make any sense anymore, basically.
Absolutely. Do you think that kind of audience will be more readily accessible to you in Scotland than in Ireland?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I think Irish people have a certain arrogance about them, and a certain amount of this national pride that is kind of, in my opinion, undeserving. You know, their pride comes off the backs of people that have gone in the past, but the past couple of generations hasn't really done anything to be proud of.
Nothing to earn that right, yeah.
You know what I memean? And so, you know, when they earn, you know, if Ireland ever earns anything to be proud of, I'd be proud of it, but at the moment, yeah.
Absolutely, you're.
I am not a big believer in nationalism. You know, I just, you know.
No, absolutely.
You know, my ancestors go back to Sicily. Does that make me a wise guy? You know, it's bullshit. You know.
Going back to your comedy now, it does get tarred with the darker brush, which a lot of people can kind of bundle in with a lot of the of the filth. And there's a lot of young comedians coming along that you see from place to place that think to be dark is to be disgusting. How do you feel? How does it make you feel when you get tarred with the same brush?
I don't like it. Okay, I can understand it though, but then it's just people's kind of lack of knowledge about certain subjects. You know, the term dark, it's a convenient term of reference. It's not I never get myself that title. You know what I mean? I never get myself the title of comedian either. Maybe I'd be more of a spoken word artist or whatever, and a ranter is basically what I am. I complain about shit. That's really what I do, and you know, I'm very opinionated, and I like to get those opinions. So the kind of comedy stage is my platform to get this shit. But as far as filth goes, a lot of people do turn me with that brush. But if you actually watch my set, I don't really talk about sex a lot, you know. And if I do, it's just I'm talking from personal experience, and there's always a point to it. It's not just jokes, you know.
Getting a point to it is the thing. All right.
Exactly.
A few clubs in Ireland now, as we've often heard now, maybe you're not just welcomed into them in open arms. How does that make you feel about it?
About the clubs? You see, those clubs run on a different level to my way of thinking, you know, as a lot of kind of the establishment in Ireland does, you know. Kind of, you know, am I an anarchist? Yeah, perhaps. But it doesn't bother me so much. You know, now and again, yeah, sure, I'd like to have the money that they're earning or whatever, but not if it means I'm going to be censored, you know. And I'm not going to change, you know, the way I write, or you know, I'm not going to tone things down, which I've been asked to do, because I think everybody has a right to their opinion, and you know, as far as this mainstream comedy goes, who's to say what's mainstream? You know what I mean? And as far as I'm concerned, as far as music goes, I think heavy metal is mainstream, but the majority of the population would kind of say, no, it's not pop is, but I mean, all of my friends like heavy metal, and it's the same with comedy.
Absolutely.
You know, otherwise, you know, people like George Carlin or Bill Hicks or even Monty Python wouldn't have done so well, you know?
Because
so there's obviously a market there for it.
Absolutely. You've often described yourself as not so much a comedian but as a social commentator. How do you think the Neptune Social Commentary Club would sound other than the Neptune Comedy Club? Would it get as many people in?
It it might get a few communists in, perhaps. It usually does, actually, but yeah, maybe.
Sometimes I can feel that when people go to a comedy club, they're looking for just that, exactly what it says on the tin, kind of a brain-free night of enjoyment. How do you think your set would fit in the middle of that, with people lying back just looking to laugh?
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't. That's why I don't do a lot of spots anymore, because a lot of my stuff can be taken out of context unless you see the show from start to finish. If I just kind of pull something from the middle of it, it doesn't have any. It's just floating around there, and people are going, "What the hell is he talking about?" But if you'd have to hear kind of, what was said 20 minutes before
Absolutely.
or 20 minutes after to get the whole thing, So
in context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all about the context. Yeah.
By and large, down through the years in the comedy scene in Dublin and indeed in Ireland, do you think you've gotten you've been dealt a fair hand, or?
No, honestly, no. I haven't been dealt a fair hand. But again, I'm not going to whine about it, because that's just how things are, and I'm trying to change them. The likes of the Neptune, that kind of thing, blogs I do, etc. I'm trying to get people to understand that it doesn't have to be this way. I'll start out with my own section on comedy, but then there's a lot of things that shouldn't be in this country, but people are distracted, with their football and their music and whatever else it is. But if anything's going to change, people are going to have to listen to people like me.
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking there again, and it's another one you get talking about quite often, is people being distracted by their football, by their music. Do you feel comedy is just another distraction, or do you think it should be a way that to get a message across?
It shouldn't be. It should be any art, and comedy is an art. A lot of people would say it's not an art, and in fact it's not recognised as an art by our government, by the Department of Arts, and also in the UK. It's not. I can't get a grant to open a comedy club, which I should be able to, because I'm a performer. I'm an actor, But I don't know. It's just it is an art form, so therefore it should be able to kind of contain a message, and the message should be out there. Like like music. Most of the music I like, Dylan or Neil Young or some of the kind of heavy metal bands. They all have messages. You know what I mean? And which is one of the reasons I listen to them. It is for the lyrics, not just the great riffs or whatever. And it should be the same with comedy. I think if anybody who has a platform should be allowed to and should use that platform. Not quite to the same extent Bono does, but
Yeah.
he's done a lot. So,
It's a good motto. Let's not be Bono.
Let's not be Bono. But still, he's got the right idea.
He's got the right idea. Bless him, his heart's in the right place.
Indeed.
After Edinburgh, what's next for Keith Anderson?
What's next for Keith? Well, I'm going to take a break after Edinburgh, maybe a couple of weeks. But the club will be my main priority. So we're going to go weekly from September.
Excellent.
So that will be my main priority, and I'll see how things go in Edinburgh. I've also got a few kind of people have contacted me around the UK, so maybe a little tour towards the end of the year, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, whatever you do, we wish you the very best of luck with it, man.
Thanks very much.
Not at all. Thank you for talking.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
buddy.